Win last night over Bethune-Cookman. We'll recap the Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman games. As you can see, Braves head coach Landon Bussie. We'll get right into it right now as the Braves have two tough ones coming up. You got Southern University on Saturday and Grambling on Monday night. So let's get right into it. Braves head basketball coach Landon Bussie, ready and to get it done. Coach Bussie, good evening. How you doing?
Good evening. Can't complain. Can't complain.
Well, yeah, especially after the big win last night. Just talk about the week that was Braves basketball, 1-1 during the week.
Yeah, I had opportunity to win a big game yesterday after a tough loss Saturday. So, just proud and of my team and how they responded after a tough loss. It was a quick 48 hours turnaround time, but only thing that worse than one bad loss is two. So, good thing we was able to get back in the win column.
Well, you are a believer, and you hear the old phrase, don't let a loss beat you twice.
Absolutely. So, we had to get back to the drawing board Sunday where, practice wasn't, as intense and energized as I like it. But, we had to find a way to pull it all together by 5 p.m. Yesterday.
Well, we're going to talk about, obviously, the Florida A&M game, and that was a tough one. I mean, we were talking, you had never been a part of a game, coach or otherwise, in which you had a 20-point lead and lost it. And I was just thinking at home, there have been a lot of games in which we've had leads, we let get away, goes into overtime, we find a way in the last minute, whether it's free throws, whether it's whatever the case, we find a way to pull a game out after giving up a lead. But I think I couldn't think of a 20-point deal in which we let that slip away. And that's obviously for you had never been a part of anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, haven't. But, after the game, you just go back, watch film, and I try to see what I could do better. And what can I do? What can I do better moving forward? So once we end that situation again, we close the game out. It's a lot of mistakes that I feel as though I could have did a better job of. And just the biggest thing is a learning experience for everybody. And we just want to make sure that this doesn't happen in March.
Yeah, through the first 26 minutes, we were up 20, 49-29. And then when did the switch flip, Coach? Because we can start there. I mean, we were really good for the first 26 minutes. We were knocking down threes. We had a 12-point lead at halftime, but we expanded that to 20. As usual, we come out in the second half and kind of, lock things down and expand that lead like we did last night. And like we've done so many times, coming out the first 5 minutes of the second half, we expanded that lead to 20. Let's start with the positives. What gave us that 20-point lead? What was working so well for us in the first 26 minutes?
I think it's just collectively our defense has been really good. And I think it started with just at the Prairie View game. We got up to 18 points on Prairie View, got up 20 on FAMU. I'm not sure we got up probably, 12 yesterday, 10 or 12, something like that. I mean, our defense have been superior. We have really, really been a really physical basketball team on the defensive end. We've really been challenging teams, trying to make teams work, trying to push, disrupt their offense, make them, push their offense towards half court. So I think that was the key to FAMU game for us to get such a big lead is we was really, really engaged on the defensive side of the ball. And I think that would also hurt us, the lack of focus on limiting teams to one shot. And I think that FAMU fed off of second chance opportunities and they converted.
They've got two really good scorers, and you could tell, at least in my opinion, Coach, they're two top scorers. And you talk about them getting back in the game from beyond the arc. They started out the game that way, but they were just ice cold. They were 0 of 12 from beyond the arc. We took advantage of that. And then all of a sudden, in a flip of a switch, they got going from beyond the arc. Well, you called a couple of timeouts, and we were down in our timeouts. I know you like to keep one in your pocket, but the bleeding was there. You were trying to figure out a way to slow down that three-point onslaught, and they got some really good looks most of the time. I know that was tough to look at, knowing that they were just proficient from beyond the arc.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more so us. We watch film, bad closeouts, um, standing around, not saying ballsy man, um, just not focused. It's a lot of things that we did that is not our typical brand of basketball, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But we just got to make sure moving forward that we don't put ourselves in that situation.
Yeah, as people watching the game, Navion Williams, we'll be talking with him coming up this weekend with a big three. And then Keontae Cornelius, man, he's been on fire, coach. The last couple of home games after Jackson State didn't make the Texas swing, but he's really been on fire of late.
Yeah, I mean, we've been shooting the ball well. Keontae, when he get an open look, I mean, his feet are set. You could count him. He does a great job of getting it. He got a quick release. He does a great job of getting in the gym, working on it a lot. So when he's getting rolling, he's tough to guard.
We were looking at Michael Pajo. Talk about him as a passer, coach. We know what he can do in the paint. He gives us extra possessions, but I thought, to me, he's a really sneaky good passer, can find the open guy.
Yeah, I think he leads our team in assists, if I'm not mistaken. He does a good job of. We run a lot of different actions right there at the elbow. When we give Mike the ball at the elbow, he's more like a Draymond Green type of guy who can mix it up on the inside, pass the ball, screen well, and do a great job of just trying to put his team in the best position to be successful.
Also, coach, I noticed this last night, and I think I saw this Saturday as well. Josh Mitchell, his presence in the post, his presence defensively. He's not a scorer per se, but he throws his weight around in there. Talk about what you expect from Josh Mitchell. Where's number 0 when he's in the lineup?
Yeah, I mean he's a guy that we utilize a lot on the defensive side of the ball. He's a great rim protector, really good rebounder. He's just a really big physical presence inside the paint, um, and he does a great job of just throwing his body around and being physical.
The Landon Bussie Show here on the Brave Sports Network. Coach, the last shot that we had a shot at it. We had a shot at it. And I thought, as much as FAMU shot themselves back in it and grabbed themselves the lead, the one possession that kind of gave us a little bit of hope, they took a 3 late, and that gave us a possession. They missed it, and then we were able to get to the free throw line. That was huge, and I thought we did a great job of slowing the game down the last minute 20 to kind of get ourselves back in it.
Yeah, I mean we did a good job of just getting ourselves back in the game. We did a great job getting ourselves back in the game after going down 5 or whatever the case may be. But we just gotta do a better job of just staying focused for 40 minutes. I think yesterday, I think we did a solid job of just trying to stay focused for 40 minutes, much better than we did Saturday night. So I mean, as long as we continue to take steps moving forward, I'm grateful for that.
Well, as you can see, for those watching, you had Peugeot inside, and then you had Williams. He had a pretty good look at that. And if you see the final seconds, man, look at the physicality inside. There was a shot there, but Nay had a shot at it. And then with 10 seconds left, coach, talk about this play in the final seconds.
Well, we try to draw up a play with a little ghost screen. Hopefully, 2 guys go at 1, which happened. They got a little confused, and we drew up exactly what we wanted. However, it didn't work out in our favor. We had 2-3 looks at it to win the game, but like I said, it should never been it should have never been got to that far. We as a staff got to do a better job of closing out the game. We got to put our players in a better situation, and the players got to go out there and make plays.
What was the theme and the mood in the locker room? I know that was a tough one to let get away.
Yeah, I mean it was awful. It was like a nightmare. It was awful. That 48 hours or whatever, 30 hours. It was tough.
We had a lot of season in front of us, so that's a tough loss. The one learning lesson coming from that, coach, going forward, what is that?
I think the one learned lesson is just probably just really stand on the guys about just keeping a composure. Stand on about keeping composure. Trying to figure out a play that could get us, an opportunity to get us a layup or the free throw line to slow their break. There's a lot of things we can learn about it.
You think, and we've been in tough games. I've always thought that we've had our composure, coach. You're very composed on the sideline, and trying to keep the guys focused in these tight games as these games kind of get tight down the stretch. To me, it seemed like we did have, even though we were up 20, then we were down 6, and we had the final possession to have an opportunity. I thought even after we were down, after being up 20, I thought we stayed composed, got to the free throw line, and was able to help ourselves. So I thought we were pretty composed there down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I think we was composed enough to just put ourselves back in the situation to give us the opportunity to win. But like a lot of them looks that we missed, we need to make. Keontae get a wide open look, Jay get a wide open, lay up right there at the rim. We got Jalik going downhill, getting to the basket, his strength. All 3 opportunities that we had was in each person's strength, which was Keontae shooting the ball, Jay getting offensive rebounds, finishing second chance points, and Jalik getting to the basket. So we didn't convert on none of them.
But you did get what you wanted in that final possession.
Yeah, I think we got the look we wanted. Just something going, and it also put pressure on the referees too.
yeah, it was a very physical game. A lot of replays this past weekend on both games, men and women. A lot of 50-50 calls, and Florida A&M with a big win there. And then Florida A&M they won at Jackson last night. All right, so let's move on to Reggie Theus's club, coach. When you look at Bethune-Cookman, Reggie Theus's team, the last couple of years they've had some prolific scores. What it was about this team that was a challenge?
Just that physicality. As a physical basketball team, they got some really, really post interior guys that can get some stuff done, and they got some perimeter guys that can get some stuff done. I think they do a great job of crashing the glass. They do a great job of just trying to get points in the paint, and they do a great job in transition. So it was pretty tough. That game right there was tough. We knew that they was going to be a challenge, but I think we did a great job of responding.
Yeah, well, what concerned me was the 2 nights earlier against Jackson. They were down 14. They held Jackson, they held Jackson State scoreless the last 4 minutes and change. They got back in it from the free throw line. A minute left. There's a 2-point game. So, they were sticking around. So Kamara Martin, Rosanne Thomas, and Willoughby, they had 2 players in double figures. And it was a 2-point game at the break, coach. We led by as many as 13 in the second half. I thought, despite it was a 9-point win, but I felt comfortable that it seemed like we had control enough of the game, despite the 9-point win. You would say, well, that's not comfortable, but I thought, to me at least anyway, I thought the tempo, the pace, the rhythm, to me it seemed like we had kind of control of it. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, I don't think that I felt a lot more comfortable in that game than Saturday, even though we had a 20-point lead. I felt as though the players had a little more urgency and a little more focus on, okay, we got to lead. Okay, every possession matters. Every detail matters. Every box out, every turnover, every free throw, every screen being set, every rotation. I think there was a little more urgency and awareness of, okay, we can't let this one slip away.
You know what I was thinking about? I didn't get a chance to come to practice on Sunday, but I was thinking about it Sunday. I'm wondering what Sunday's practice was like, considering what happened against Florida A&M, knowing how intense you are and how those type of games don't sit well with you. Sunday's practice would be in my mind pretty intense. There's a lot of passion there. Was it that way, or was it, look, we got this, we got to fix that, we got to get back to work because we got Bethune-Cookman that could knock us off in 24 hours?
Nah, we only practiced for probably about 40 minutes. Sunday was probably like a funeral. Real quiet, sad, depressing. No intense practice. Nothing like I would like it to be. But it's my job just to continue to try to find ways to keep these guys level-headed, find ways for them to respond, and which we did.
Yeah, so it's just the opposite of what I thought, because I know you don't take
It
those
was.
type of things well. Yeah, I know,
It was the
I know
complete
how you
opposite.
normally, I know how you normally do business, Coach Bussy. A game like that, you're just, you don't have much hair, but you will be pulling your hair out the day after. But it was a good way to respond. It was 34-32 at the break. You look at the final numbers: 4 players in double figures. You talk about what Tankersley, 17 points. You know, he was amongst the top scorers in the Southwestern Athletic Conference in the early part of the season. It was a good game for him, 17 points in 33 minutes. Talk about the job he did.
He's a guy. I mean, he was very efficient. Just getting to the basket and getting us some great opportunities. I think he was 7 for 12 from the field,
Hmm.
making some huge free throws, just some huge baskets. Like I said, we know how well he can score the ball, and we just got to continue to put the ball in his hands for him to showcase that.
Well, we know what Benet could do: 7 points and 4 rebounds in that game. Lual, 7 points and 4 rebounds. You talk about Peugeot with his 11 and 9, a rebound away from a double double. Daniel Braster, coach. It's interesting, and you and I talked about it, I think, last week, about the fact that he doesn't play very much, doesn't complain very much about not playing, but when he does see some action, he does some good stuff. Do you anticipate getting Braster more time? Because I do think when he's in the lineup, things look a little different, and I think maybe teams don't exactly account for what he does out there.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very versatile player. I mean, he can really give this team a spark off the bench. And we just got to continue to find minutes for him. It's hard. It's hard when you got so many good players. You got Amari Hamilton, who haven't played in I don't know how many games now. He'll be back any day now. I mean, he's a guy who was leading us in scoring at one point. So that's just another threat. So you got some good players, but I don't know. They'll figure that out in practice, shoot around attitudes, and they determine their own playing time, not me.
Yeah, you have said that, and I keep, people don't believe that when I, on these different shows, talk about that, coach, that the players determine who starts, who plays, and all that, not you. You just taking notes, and a lot of people don't believe that. Just talk about that philosophy, that policy that you have. 'Cause a lot of folks just probably may not understand or believe the fact that they determine who starts, they determine who plays.
Yeah, I mean they determine that when they get opportunity to get in the game, what do they do? Do you sit up there and in a game and you don't impact it at all, or do you sit up there and find a way to enhance the lead, or put us back in the game? Do you get out there and make plays? Do you get out there and take dive on the floor, get offensive rebounds, great rotation, just loud communication? Same thing in practice. Are you one of the guys every single day in practice working your butt off, and playing defense and rebounding to my expectation and standards? Are you doing what you're supposed to do off the court? Are you taking care of your business in the classroom? Are you being respectful around campus? A whole 9 yards. So that's their decision. But the biggest thing with a lot of these young guys, they don't want to accept the accountability part of it and say, "Hey, I'm not playing because it's something I'm not doing."
Well, one thing that we did do well is protect the basketball against Bethune-Cookman. Only 9 turnovers. We had a 2-game stretch. We had over 40 turnovers. Only 9 turnovers last night. And I know you were happy to see that.
Yeah, but as you see, when you come down to practice, how hard it is to how tough I'm getting on them for each turnover, and so now this week is about to be boxing out, rebounding. These next 3 games I'm sorry, these next 3 practices are going to be some intense, tough practices to prepare ourselves for Saturday. We have been really paying close attention to these turnovers. We have really been trying to hold these guys accountable in practice, and keep drilling to them and understand the focus of just making a simple play. And we're going to drill boxing out all week until they get it in their head.
And yeah, you did work on turnovers in practice one day last week that I saw, just especially when no one's guarding you. And then, of course, there was a drill in which there was no one guarding, and then you just got tired of that. Like, let's put some pressure on these guys and see if they can protect the basketball when there's pressure put on them. And I thought they handled that particular drill in that moment really well. So you're definitely working on that. So, Coach, getting back on track, a good team finds a way to respond, and I think we're a good team. You've often said you got a lot of work to do. So the week that was coming off that Texas trip, you still feel like we got a long way to go, even though the FAMU game slipped away from us. You feel like we're itching closer, or you still feel like there's a lot in front of us that we have to tap into?
I think we're getting a lot better. I think we're getting a lot better, especially defensively. I mean, we're getting a lot better. We're doing a much better job of stepping up on ball screens. We're doing a much better job of showing bodies when guys are driving. We're doing a much better job of, just trying to get to our spots and rotating and things of that nature. Um, but we got to work on our transition defense. We got to work on limiting teams to one shot. And we got to work on, we got to be able to do a better job of scoring in transition. We get a lot of opportunities where it'd be three on two break or 2-on-1 break, and we're not converting.
Amari Hamilton, you talked about him. How much does he mean to this team? He's been out. You expect to have him back, as you mentioned, this week. How much does he mean to your team when healthy in terms of the grand scheme of things?
I mean, it's another 6'6", 6'7" guy who can make a shot. Who could, a guy you can put the ball in the hands and he go get you a basket. But we just got to make sure he's healthy. Um, you know, um, right now, I mean, if we was playing the SWAC tournament, he'll be playing. But he's fine. But we just didn't want him to rush his injury back, so we just been extra cautious with him. But he'll probably play Saturday. But he has to have 3 good practices to see if he's ready for that war is going to be Saturday.
Well, yeah, let's jump into that, Coach. You've got Southern and Grambling. Here it is, Coach. You've got a Southern team that's undefeated. Coach Johnson, in his second season as head coach at Southern University, doing a good job there. They won a tough home game recently against Grambling that came down to the wire. We know when we go to Baton Rouge, Coach, 2 years ago we went, it was intense. And so what do you expect from Southern University? What do you see in this Jaguar team that has made them where they are so far untouched in conference?
I mean, they're a team who is at the top of the conference right now. They play extremely hard. They're very physical. They're pretty much a little similar to us. Very similar to us. I think they're a little more disciplined than us. I think that they are a little bigger than us. But I think that we beat them in certain categories and edges as well too. So we just got to do a great job of understanding that this is our game. We're going to go in there, and these guys got to put in that mindset. We're about to walk in the Baton Rouge and come out with a victory, and it's that simple. However, whatever we got to do for these next 3 to 4 days to prepare us to have success, that's what we need to do.
I remember last year, Diamasi was a kid that hit a big three against us, but obviously they've had a few injuries here or there. The style of play, they up tempo with the different personnel that they've had. What offensively, what do they bring to the table?
Well, they bring a lot of different things to the table. I mean, more so than anything, their toughness. This is probably going to be the toughest, most physical basketball team in the SWAC that you play all year. I think that we have been extremely, extremely physical. But this is a physical brand of basketball, and we're going to be up for the challenge.
You look at their lineup: Jordan Johnson with Michael Jacobs, Andre Nunley, and Manning. In their last game, they only had one player in double figures. Defensively, Coach, what do they bring to the table there? As they won 63-42 against Mississippi Valley on Monday.
I mean, they just bring a lot of length and pressure. They'll pick up full court in a 1-2-2 press. They will have Andre Nunley pressuring your guy, point guard, and just creating havoc. They got some post players who protect the rim. They'll switch off on screens. They do a great job of getting over the help side. We're just gonna do what we've been doing the last 3 games. Is just being extremely physical on the defensive side of the ball. Trying to pressure them, trying to speed them up, and try to see if our physicality beat their physicality.
So a third of the way in this season, Coach, where are you with this team? I mean, we 2-1 at home, then we go to Texas split, and obviously we split FAMU, Bethune-Cookman. Well, a third of the way through conference play. Where are you with this team? How are you feeling about this team right now?
I feel great. We're in a situation to where as though we are ahead of where we were last year. So that's a plus. There's a lot of basketball left to be played, a lot of changes in the standings that will happen within the next 11, however many games we have left. But at some point, I'm waiting for this team just to turn the corner and run off about 8 and 9, 10-game winning streak. That's what I'm waiting for. When we really get in our groove and start to hit that corner and hit that go button, and nobody can just match our intensity. We want to play to a level of physicality and intensity that certain teams just can't match. So I'm just waiting for this team to turn the corner, to understand that we're the best basketball team in the SWAC, but we have to show it each and every night.
Well, we had that 9-game winning streak going into the tournament last year, Coach, and everybody thought, here we go, the Braves are getting it done. And then we know what happened in the tournament. You're kind of waiting for that type of streak again.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for us to turn that corner. Waiting for us to really start to put games back to back to back to back, and I start to stack these games up. And it's going to happen pretty soon.
Well, I don't doubt what you say, Coach Bussie. You kind of, I remember last year when we won 9 in a row going into the tournament, and I was excited. Braves fans were dancing around excited, and you said we got to take it up another notch going into the tournament. And we know what happened there. So you have a really good pulse of what needs to happen, and the Braves will try to get back on track as they play Southern University, looking for their 2nd win in a row, and then Grambling on Monday. That's going to be another tough gym to try to get a win out of the Hobby Arena. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Braves head basketball coach Landon Bussie. Coach, we'll talk to you down in Baton Rouge as we take on Southern University.
All right, thank you.
As Braves head coach Landon Bussie, as always, you see he's in game mode, ready for Southern University. That'll do it. Excuse me, for the Landon Bussie program. I'm Charles Edmond. Glad you can join us. Our producers, Cedric Tillman, Jamario Brooks. We'll talk to you on Thursday from the Hobby Arena, Lady Braves and Grambling at 6:30 on Thursday. Have a good one. So long.